Hey guys, this is the second video for Dream On by Aerosmith. Now what I'm actually doing in this second video here is redoing the intro, not because we have anything wrong on the first one, but I did a little bit of a simplified version on the first video for some of the beginners that might have trouble with this version. So you can kind of decide for yourself which one you want to do. This just kind of has one extra note in it that kind of falls, that goes lower and lower with each chord, and you'll see what I mean once I show you the chords. So we're going to do this intro now and get far as we can in this video, and then just keep going through the song, and I'll keep doing more and more videos until we get this whole thing taken care of. It might take quite a few videos, so let's go ahead and get started. The beginning is going to be, at least the first two chords are going to be exactly the same as it was on the other video. So it's going to start off like this. Okay, now it changes after that. So what you need to know is you're going to, well, let me give you those first two chords just in case you didn't watch the first video and you want to do this one. Now, your first finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the E string. That's the skinny E string. Your third finger is going to go on the 6th fret of the B string. And your middle finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the G string. Okay? And again, just like before, we're going to play the B string and the E string together. So, just like this. And then you're going to play the G string. Okay? So, and then you do it again. Okay? Then you switch to your next chord, which what you're going to do is put your first finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, put your middle finger on the 4th fret of the B string, and then your third finger goes on that 5th fret of the G string. Again, play the B string and E string together, then the G string. Okay, so far it's just like the first way we played it. Okay, now here's where it changes. Instead of going back up to that first chord, we need to change it a little bit. I want you to take your first finger and put it on the, let me see, actually you're going to do your middle finger first. Put your middle finger on the 4th fret of the E string. Now this note right here is a little different. Put your first finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then use your third finger to play the 5th fret on the G string. This B string is what you're going to notice is kind of different sounding, and that chord is going to sound like this. Okay, and you play it twice just like you did before. So far we've got this. And then the change. Okay, now the next chord is going to be 4th fret on the E string again, and then 6th fret on the B string. Let me see. No, I take that back. It's going to be, I skipped one fret. I skipped one chord in my tabs here. So you need to go to 3rd fret on the E string, okay, and then 2nd fret on the B string, and then again 5th fret on the G string. Now this time I have to use my pinky to stretch out there, so you're going to use your pinky for the 5th fret. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, kind of a weird sounding chord, but that's what you want to do. So I've got 2nd fret on the E string, sorry, 3rd fret on the E string, 2nd fret on the B string, and 5th fret on the G string. Okay? So putting that all together so far, it's going to be like this. I'll play it slowly and you can follow along. Okay? Alright. And then finally, okay? Now what you're going to do after that is kind of go back to your first chord again. So 4 on the E string, 6 on the B, 5 on the G. Okay, play those two the same pattern that we've been playing. Now we're going to go 6th fret on the E and the B, and I just like to use my 2nd and 3rd finger for those. So 6th fret on the E and the B, okay, and then put my 1st finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and I play the same pattern we've been playing. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to cut down on my volume just a little bit. Okay, after that, then we're going to go 8th fret on the E string, we're going to go 6th fret on the B string, and 5th fret on the G string. Now you'll recognize that from the first video. Okay, so that chord didn't change. And we play that same pattern with one extra B and E string chord. Okay, so alright. So that's one time through that chord progression. Now it doesn't stay exactly the same, as you know. You'll repeat a lot of that, but then towards the end of it, it's going to change a little bit. So let's try and go ahead and get through as much of that as we can without making the video too long. So let's say you've already gone through it one time, and then you just played your last chord. Okay, and now we're starting over. So we're going back to our first chord, 4 on the E, 6 on the B, 5 on the G. Play that pattern. Back to 3 on the E, 4 on the B, 5 on the G. Okay, we're doing the same chord change here as we did before, so it's 4 on the E, 3 on the B, 5 on the G. Okay, and play that pattern. Alright, then 4 on the E, see, I got a little, oh yeah, okay. After we do our 4, 3, 5, then we go to our 3rd fret on the E string, 2nd fret on the B string, and 5 on the G string. We're going to play that again. Okay, then back to our first chord again, so 4 on the E, 6 on the B, 5 on the G. Play that. Then 6 on the E and the B, 5 on the G. Okay, and then 8 on the E, 6 on the B, 5 on the G. And you're not going to play the 3rd chord this time. You're going to play the regular pattern. And then you're going to play 6th fret on the B and the E. And then you're going to play and that's it, one time you play that chord. Then you play 4th fret on the E and 6th fret on the B. And now you've got just barely enough time to play 5th fret on the G once. Okay. And then 6 and 6 on the E and B string again. So let me play that measure again. Once you get up there to your 8 and 6, it's going to be, then go down to 6 and 6, then 4 and 6, then 5th fret on the G, then 6 and 6 again. Okay? And we're almost to the end here. Then we go to a single note here. It's 9th fret on the B. And I like to put a pretty heavy vibrato on that one. Okay? And then you play 9 and 8 together. And then you play it one more time and kind of slide it down to 6 and 6. So you play that first 9 and go. Okay, so 9, then 9 and 8. So 9th on the, let's see, 9 on the B string, 8 on the E string. So 9, then 9 and 8, and then 9 and 8 again, and slide it down to 6 and 6 on the B and E string. So then B string, 6th fret. And now I'm going to stop right there because this comes that little run where you're going to go. Okay? And everybody probably recognizes that run. So instead of teaching that and adding it onto this video and making this video super long, I'm going to continue right there on the next lesson. Okay? So let me run through that far, all the way through the song. That way you'll have a cohesive look at that whole chord progression, what we just learned. So I'm starting at the very beginning here and then playing up to that run. So I'm going to play slowly, and I want you to try and follow along with me, okay? So here we go. I'm going to call this first chord that you start on, I'm going to name that the first chord, and every time I go back to it, you know we're kind of starting over on the chord progression. So here's our first chord. What was our, yeah, that's right. Okay, and then okay, starting over on that first chord again, still going slow. Starting over on our first chord again. Okay, and that's where we left off. So we're going to start that little run that comes right after that. Okay, all that stuff, we're going to go into that the next video. Okay, that's good for this video. Once you're done with this, watch the next one, and we'll just keep taking everything in order if I can, unless it, we won't repeat parts, but we'll take each new part as it comes in the song. So I hope you're enjoying the videos. Keep watching.